His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and former President Nana Akufo-Addo are trending on this reparation issue. Now, a lot of people don't understand what this reparation issue. That is why I'm here. Here we give you the in-totos, the mixed totos, and the ex-totos of the story. Those of you who don't understand, I can give you a basic summary so that you have a clear idea of what this whole reparation thing is all about. Now, the reparation is a call for compensation, justice, and apologies for the slavery that happened to Africans and anybody of African descent some years ago. So basically, they are calling for what? Compensation, apologies, and justice. Slavery has been the gravest crime that has ever happened in the history of humanity. It was a serious crime. Those years ago that slavery happened, now black man's eye has not opened. Well, black man doesn't know what is going on in the world. Blacks didn't really know much about the world. So the white people came to colonize us and enslave blacks or Africans or anybody from the African descent. So this reparation thing they're talking about is that they are saying that Africans are calling, so which was led by John Dramani Mahama, is calling that the people who colonized them, the people who enslaved them, should compensate them. That is what they are talking about. You came to enslave us. We are asking for compensation for what happened to our forefathers. Mahama is saying that we shouldn't see it that says slavery has happened to life. Oh, it is in the past, so life should move on. No, he's saying that these things have caused so many things. This is why racism is even in existence, because racism started from slavery, started from, oh, okay, blacks are here, whites are here. You understand how people heard the slavery stories and all those things. So he's saying that those things even had an effect. That is why we even have racism even as at now. So he's saying that they should compensate. I don't see it like say, oh, it has already happened. It is past. Let's move on. There's a way forward. Former President Akufo-Addo started his agenda. Now, when he went to the UN to make this ahead of them, Ghanaians came roasting him.
Firmly to the fore. Granted, the current generations are not the ones that engage in the slave trade. But that grand inhuman enterprise was state-sponsored and deliberate, and its benefits are clearly interwoven with the present-day economic architecture of the nations that designed and executed it. Reparations must be paid for the slave trade.
People were like, slaves' money you won't chop. You know, Akufo-Addo was asking to be compensated. People were like, yeah, why can't I stop laughing? This man is just a very big clown. This one said, please don't give Akufo-Addo any money. He will use it for his personal stuff. Thanks. This one to say is that so his family will spend and claim the money. He's a joke of a president. Now, some people too agreed with what Akufo-Addo was doing. They said, thank you, Mr. President. So Akufo-Addo started this initiative. And then Mahama has finished it. Now, mind you, this compensation and things, it goes a long way. It's not like when they stand up now, they're going to compensate you. They voted. And when they voted, out of the vote, 123 said yes, 3 countries said no, and 552 abstained. 52 decided to stay neutral. They decided not to say anything about it. Now, these 3 countries that abstained were Argentina, Israel, and USA. They said no, they will not support this cause. They are not going to compensate anybody. Now, US concern or US says that they know they're not going to support because back then, those years ago when slavery was happening, that time it was not a crime.
The United States remained steadfast in its opposition and condemnation of historic wrongs that resulted from the transatlantic slave trade, the trans-Saharan slave trade, and all other forms of slavery. We remain committed to the acknowledgement that these historical wrongs. Despite this, the United States observes that the text of this resolution remains highly problematic in countless respects. Consequently, the United States cannot support the adoption of this resolution.
And it was their forefathers that committed that thing. It was not a crime. So why is it that they should pay, basically, why should they pay for the sins of their forefathers? Now, the UN was not created for personal interest or for personal gains or for personal agendas or for some particular agendas, but it was created to enhance peace. That is what the US rep said.
We regret that the United States must once again remind this body that the United Nations exists to maintain international peace and security. It was not founded to advance narrow, specific interests and agendas, to establish niche international days, or to create new costly meeting and reporting mandates.
The foreign minister of Ghana, Sam Ekudzeto Ablakwa, also came to address this issue, because people, you see, when Akufo-Addo's time, when this thing came up, people were saying that Akufo-Addo wanted to spend slave money. Okujeto Ablakwa also came to address the issue that they are not focusing on slave money. They are focusing on at least the artifact, the return of the artifacts, the things that belongs to guys. You see, when they came to colonize and they took some of our things that belong to us, they took it there and they are in their museums. And so Okujeto is saying that they should bring back our things. Like, they don't even really focus on the money, but the things that they've taken, we need them back into, because this is our culture, this is our history. And they are not just talking for Ghana, they are talking for the blacks, anybody of African descent that went through colonization.
And we have made clear that African leaders or Caribbean leaders are not looking for money. It goes against our conscience to seek to profit from this. We don't want any payments made to us directly. We are talking about courses to deal with the structural inequalities. And we are also talking about the return of artifacts.
So those of you who don't understand the reparation properly, this is what they are. This is what basically is about. So the formal apology from nations and institutions responsible, especially European countries that ran the slave trade, later colonizing Africa. So Africans or people from African descent, which was led by John Mahama, is saying that they are asking for a formal apology, letting them accept and see that, Charlie, this slave thing that we went to do, or our forefathers or our ancestors went to do in these African countries, were wrong. So they need a formal apology. And two, restitution, giving back what they looted from Africa, the artifacts, the cultural items, the manuscripts, the other heritage during slavery and colonization. Like I said earlier, when they came for slavery, they took our things, they took a lot of our things, our artifacts, cultural items, our manuscripts. They took everything away. So we are asking for restitution. All African countries are asking for restitution. And this happened at the UN in the in New York, where President Mahama led the reparation there. Like I said, Nana Akufo-Addo started this, Mahama finished it. Now, compensation, financial and development support to fix the long-term damage. So we are also asking for compensation. Now, rehabilitations, programs to address the ongoing effects like racial discriminations, poverty gaps, and structural inequalities affecting Africans and people of African descent, both continental and the diaspora. Now, just like I said, when the slave trade thing happened, slave trade started racism. Let me explain. So when slave trade happened, they made blacks be in the dungeon and they made whites be in the forts, in the rooms, in a nice place. So that was when racism started. Oh, you're black, you have to be here. You're a monkey. Blacks are monkeys. So you be here, you be here. So that is where racism started, and it has gotten to the level where it has gotten to where people even want to unalive people because they are blacks. So that's where racism started. So they want to make people understand that all these things, they were effects from slave trade, reparation. Do you understand? And like I said earlier, slave trade was the gravest crime in humanity. Now, guarantees of non-repetition, making sure that injustice don't happen again, plus better education and memorialization of the truth about slavery. So we're also saying that there should be a guarantee that there will not come a time where slavery would happen again. It should be written down. There should be some kind of guarantee. And also the kind of knowledge they are teaching their kids about slavery, that this didn't happen. They should change. They should make them understand that this and this and this is what happened. They should teach them the right thing, that they went there to enslave people. The Europeans went to enslave the Africans. So you understand? So this is what basically the reparation is all about. They are seeking for compensation, apologies, guarantees of not repeating. They are seeking for rehabilitation. They are seeking for restitution of artifacts too. So basically, this reparation and all these things that they are talking about on social media, this is what it means. Like I said, here we give you the in totos and mixed totos. We summarize the whole story. Something that took 1 hour, we will give it to you under 8 to 10 minutes. Under 10 minutes, you get a full understanding here. That is what we do on this channel. That is our job. So please subscribe, follow us on all social media platforms. I believe that a lot of you enjoy this international news, and we'll be bringing you international news from time to time. If you enjoyed it, Charlie, share the video for somebody to also be educated and understand what is going on this reparation issue as well. My name is Kwamina Leko. This is the Kwamina Leko Network. We tell you what is trending on social media. Subscribe to this channel, turn on the post notifications so that when we post a video, you get a notification. I love you guys so much. I'm out. Peace.